Hello and welcome. I am the Imperishable. On today's episode we have a battle report of the Tomb Kings versus the Dwarves. This is once again a mission from the Welsh Open, just trying some lists to see kind of different things and kind of my thought style of why I've gone for this type of list. So I'm taking a unit that I usually don't use. I think they're quite bad because they've got a really good rule, but it's only good versus certain matchups. But I think with the Welsh Open, we're going to see more of that. So it is a cult list, but it's more going down this kind of terror and beneath the sands kind of pressure list. And with a couple, actually 5 units that are unit strength 10 or more. So hopefully I can actually score the missions and play a bit more aggressively. I was versus Rob from Firestorm. And then he was playing an expeditionary force. He wasn't really playing for the missions. He was just like, I've got a force I want to try. And he was like, I might take this something like this to the Welsh Open. So we had a look at that. So let's get into the game and let's have a look at my list. So here is my list. It is a mortuary cult list. So as I say, we've got a chat coming up with Ollie looking at the Welsh Open. So this is a bit of a weird mortuary cult list in my opinion, just because there is a army building restriction. You're only allowed 8 levels of wizardry. So starting off with my list, I've got my general. It's level 4, Lord Familiar, Flying Carpet, Talisman Protection with Necromancy. So the idea of this list is meant to be really quite 3 big terror monsters and kind of the idea of using Beneath the Sand. So I've got 2 level 4s, so I've got Leadership 8 kind of thing, but no BSB. And this thing I think is a bit of an issue, and I'm trying to play around it now. So my second is once again another level 4 Necromancy with a Warding Sprint. So I've got 2 guys, one with a 5+5+, and the other guy with a 5+5+5+. So they're pretty tanky. You know, they're only 3 wounds, but the idea is if I can hide them, they can make them a bit more survivable. Okay, the big unit that I don't usually use is the Necrosphinx, because their ability for Terror's Blow is really good if you're versus infantry. Okay, because it can only be effective versus infantry. And with the Welsh Open, there are a lot of objective missions. Well, there's objective missions, all of them, and you have to have unit strength 10. Okay, I feel there's going to be quite a few big blocks of infantry trying to hold the middle, take one of these loot and pillages, make an unkillable king on foot, just hiding inside a big thing. So I've gone for Necrosphinx with this Terror Blows, because this is a unit strength 15, so I'm doing 15 initiative statistics versus a unit when I come in. That could wipe half a unit, could take out 8 models, and it makes my life a little bit easier to deal with. And then the Necrosphinx themselves, they're semi-tanky. They've got, what's it called? They've got their T4, 3 wounds. Something I'm thinking is maybe go with this, but with Elementalism. So when they come in, I give them that 5+ ward as well, because they come into my strategy phase, which is before the Conjuration. So I can bring them in, I can give them that 5+ invert, and just have this block in the middle that's already taken down a load of wounds. That's maybe something I'll look at potentially next time. I then have 2 units for Scares and Horse Archers. As I say, they're one of my best units. I love them. I think they're really clever, really smart. Obviously, because they've got reserve move, it's going to be quite good in these missions. So I get into the deployment, I can pick up an objective and run away, etc. So I've got 2 units of 8 because I just had the points, and it also means if I lose 3, I'm still unit strength 10. I can res them. I'd say I need 1 alive and I can res them up to be full. I've got a unit of 4 Tomb Swarms. They have ambush, and I've nicked this from some people in the Team England chat about how it just takes a drop down and you don't really need them until your first turn, and they're one of the first ones you bring in. And then I've got a unit of 5 Ushabti. If you can see on my Ushabti, they don't have great bows, because I wanted to try out see what Ritual Blaze was. I didn't know what was bringing. He was bringing a shooting army. They really didn't do a lot, and I kind of wish they had bows. So that's kind of a big drawaway. Say big unit 5 and an ancient. They're tough. They're 15 wounds again, so they are once again another scoring unit. Then into the meat of the army. I don't have 1, don't have 2, but I've got 3 Necrosphinxes. So with the Welsh Open, you're only allowed 2 in rare, but if they go over another slot, you are allowed another one. So I'm allowed 3 Necrosphinxes in rare. If you've seen the video with Ed, you know I love them. I think they're really good, and they are like an A-star kind of monster, behemoth. They've got D3+2 stomps. They've got 5 killing blow attacks. They've got 1 killing blow monster slaying attacks. They're T6. They've got a 5+ regen. They are a tough cookie to crack. And then I've got 2 Tomb Scorpions, because you have to have them in Mortuary Cult, but once again, they're an A-star, an S-tier kind of monster. And they do have also some more Terror's Blow. So this is where I'm hoping to snipe characters with. I'd say I'm playing Rob's Dwarfs, and they usually got quite a few characters, maybe in some Slayers that I can try and snipe away. So it's just clearing off key things. And once again, it's 3 tests. You can do kill 2 things. You're only making your points back. You can obviously move quite fast. So that's the list. It's meant to be a terrors and terrors below. It's really meant to mess up with infantry, get hit hard and fast, get some terror bombs. The idea with the necromancy is to get spiritual vortex, spirit leech, make them -4 to their leadership, so when terror comes in they can flee. They could potentially flee when they've taken so many wounds, because that's just what happens. It's in the new phase, so that's something we actually forgot. So that's my list. Now let's have a look at the game and our deployment. So here is our deployment. Okay, we worked out if I went first and whatnot, because I wanted to get first turn just to stage a bit. I think I was more in there. So as you can see from the top, I guess once again using my kind of gigantic spawns of chaos, the core ones. So I've got 1, 2, and 3 kind of just spread out across my lines. I think they were my first drops. So I was just like, look, if I go place them about, depending where you go, I'm going to put the rest of my army. I then took up this kind of position in the middle with my Ushabti, and then my 2 wizards behind, and then blocked by my swarms. I thought I was really clever here. You can't shoot them, can't do anything like that. I'm an idiot and forget the swarms you can just see over. So they weren't getting protected. As you can see by Rob's force, he's got quite a lot of flyers, the gyrocopters, so I'm actually a bit worried. I'm obviously as close as I can be to these Ushabti, so they can't be shot unless they're this side that we talked about. And then with my spells, I did get Spectral Steed. I kind of wish I got it on my other one and then binned it, which was annoying. So I wish I had both, just so I can make them both ethereal, and so I wouldn't be afraid of getting shot, kind of thing. And then I have 2 lots of skeleton horse archers just about on either flank. I hope to pick up some wounds. This one on the left by the tomb swarms was there to just a bit more backup and actually block line of sight. The ones on the right went to pressure up these rangers on the right and try and deal with them. So kind of Rob's deployment, he's got a unit of rangers that scouted in. He's got 2 sets of, 1 set of scout gyro bombers, and then 2 just normal gyro bombers, and then gyrocopters, and then he's got 2 gyro bombers on the other flank. So he's gone for gyro bombers. I think at the end we discussed it's probably better just getting more scouts, because that's like 210 points. You can get 3 more scout gyrocopters, and they were great because they're ballistic skill 4. They hit on 4s most of the time. They're so fast. You go 20 inches, you can shoot, you get behind, and you just play annoyance. As you'll find out, I think I killed 2 of them in the entire game, and 1 killed themselves. So that. He then has a unit of Thunderers on the top. No, that's another unit of Rangers, I think, at the very top. He's got characters kind of beyond. He then has a unit of Thunderers that has all these characters in. He's got Burloxon and another Engineer. He then has 2 cannons and an organ gun. So cannons are in the woods with an Engineer. The organ gun's dead center trying to shoot me off. So that's our kind of deployment. I was lucky I got the first turn. So my idea was I'm going to pressure, get in range, and then drop out my terrors below and try and clear. So this is my kind of position from turn 1. He obviously vanguarded his stuff up. I pressured with a Necrosphinx. So I've gone for this route, because if I press with this Necrosphinx and it survives, I'm getting 2 cannons and potentially causing mayhem over here. And that means if he doesn't shoot this, it's in. But if he is shooting the Necrosphinx on the far right, my other 2 Necrosphinxes, they're coming in. And we'll see that these ones on the left did phenomenally, because they've been able to hit from one flank and just keep cascading forward. I kind of just nudged up everything. I tried to like stop his kind of positioning with my skeleton horse archers. I rolled a double 1 on my very first spell. Really great. So that was fun. So I wasn't able to get Unquiet Spirits to try and take down one of these copters or anywhere else. So I was quite annoyed by that. But hey-oh, it happens. And then on to his turn 1. So he's really tried to kill this Necrosphinx. He gets down to 2 wounds. I think he got a cannon. He got both cannons into it, but he rolled 1 damage for like both of them. I think he did 3 damage with 2 cannons, and then all the rest of the units just plinked off 1 wounds because I had regen and my 5-up save. He's, as you can tell here, he's really pressuring in with these gyrocopters, and I'm thinking, I have no idea really how to deal with them because I've got no shooting. I've got 1 magic missile spell, so I'm a bit scared here. But as I say, I get Spectral Steed off on my Hierophant, and none of his attacks there are magical, so my Hierophant's safe. It's my other level 4, which Rob does keep trying to go after. And it doesn't really do much, but it's kind of good that he went for it because of the -1 to hit, because he's a skirmisher, like multi-shot. So he's hitting things on 6 and 5s. I'm still T4. I've got a triple save, so it's kind of keeping him alive, but it's quite see. So my Necrosphinx surviving is massive, and it honestly makes my day, and I'm so glad he's still standing. Because if we go into my turn, turn 2, before we get to that, and before we get into the lovely photo of Rob, he's moved up his Slayer character, Doomseeker, up to kind of be like, if my Necrosphinx get close, he can hit them. I've then gone, yeah, I'm going to try and get rid of this guy with Beneath the Sands, because he's also got his Shooty Fane right behind it, and I'm like, oh, if I can pop it with one Tomb Scorpion, I can pop the other one with the other Tomb Scorpion. Only initiative 2, he was really annoyed by the rule and thinks this is ridiculous, that if you fail initiative, you lose a model. And then he's rolled 2 2s and a 1. So 1 Tomb Scorpion has done nothing, hasn't been able to kill it in. I then obviously bring in a second one, and as you can tell, I clear it off. So just want to go back to where our kind of position is here. So the idea is my 2 Necrosphinx on the left, they both hit this unit of Rangers, and then this is going to cause a kind of like a cascading effect. My Necrosphinx on the right, obviously, he's already done his sacrificial job. He's going in to clear those cannons so I can keep everything else alive. So if we go past, obviously, the lovely photos Rob, on the left-hand side, my 2 Necrosphinxes have cleared and gone through. The other main one has overran straight into the Shooty Fane, so it's really key there, so it can't be shot by this, the double exploding, the 2d3 shots, always hitting on 3s, so I'm happy there. And then the idea is now, if I kill him on his turn, I can go through and start clearing through the other stuff. On the right-hand side, I think I do kill off the cannon, because I only have to kill 3 crew, and then kind of, I think I positioned myself, no, I overran, I believe, to make sure I get into combat with someone else, just so I don't get shot by the next cannon. And then in the middle, it's a bit of a cluster here. I've put every single Skeleton Horse Archer to just so I don't get shot and lose my Tomb Swarms, because if he shoots them, I don't really care. I can live with losing them, but if I lose a level 4, I feel quite down. And then we go into his turn 2, and we've lost a lot, and we're in each other's faces. So into turn 2, his turn 2, his lovely kind of gyro bombers and all here come here. They drop a load of bombs so they can start seeing me, and this is just before his shoot phase, so before he kind of shoots me freely. But he's either already lost 1 unit of Skeleton Horse Archers to loads of bombing. He did lose a gyrocopter to it because he had 1 wound left, then blew up and died. And then this is kind of the end of his turn. End of his turn and my turn. So I've killed off his next cannon. He's moved over, so I killed it on his turn. I then pivoted, so obviously I'm going to just kill the cannon. Or I think there was a place I could line up, hit the cannon, and then go into his character, or vice versa. I'm down to 2 swarms and like 3 Skeleton Horse Archers, so I'm like, this is great. And I've got 5 flying copters around me that I just like, I've got nothing to do with it. I believe his Thane survives a turn on his, and I'm like, okay, that's a bit annoying. I wanted to overrun, hit this kind of big blob and clear them off. I then bring in my Necrosphinx, my Necroserpents in my turn, and by God do I love the Terrors Below versus Infantry. So I have 15 unit strength. He had a unit of 10 Thunderers with the 2 characters. He lost 10 models, straight like that. And we kind of agreed that when we look at the rule, because usually it's like fast shooting attacks, you can't lose your characters unless targeted. But this says if a unit is targeted, you lose the model for every initiative test failed. So we think that if he did roll 12 3-ups, he would have lost his other 2 characters as well. But this was just quite funny. He was so mad. And I've got this unit strength 15, which is quite tough. Still alive. My Necrosphinx is kind of clear off all this stuff it needs to do, and they charge in and they're doing so many things. This Necrosphinx by the hill, by the forest, charged into one of the characters, killed them, and then one of them fled, and I charged into the other one. I killed and blowed it straight away, didn't have a save or thunder crushed it to death. I've cleared off basically everything in the centre. And right now I'm thinking I'm pretty safe. I don't think I'm going to lose this. The only thing that's really annoying me are these flying copters. I've cleared over here on the right hand side. I killed his character and gone into his cannon, which is really good to see. My Necrosphinx are just facing up ready to charge this big unit of rangers. Try and clear them off if need be, because I think with enough of them, I don't think they should die. So that's my kind of thought process. And I'm just pressuring, just pushing up in the middle, because I'm like, I've got unit strength 10 unit with my Ushabti, because I want to get something of unit 10 in there, so I get the extra 3 victory points, because I think I clipped off one model over on these rangers on the right, so I was like, they're not scoring unit anymore, I don't care about them as much. So this is his turn, kind of, I think 3, and everything's basically dead. I've got 2 Necrosphinxes, one's facing up front through the woods, because I was like, if he fails this or passes, I should be able to charge him next turn. Nope, he just walks past me and outside my line of arc, so this Necrosphinx is doing nothing. This one did turn around, the one by the building, to kind of face off first with the gyrocopters, which I've realised are an absolute pain in the ass to try and get rid of, because I just can't catch them. Even though I'm a fly, large target, I can spot them there. If I'm this far away, he's just going to flee, or fire and flee, and get 20 inches away from me, and I just can't physically touch him. It's just quite upsetting. So in my turn, the Necrosphinx at the top right did kill the cannon. It reformed and then charged into the rangers. And he rolled like an 11 for his terror. And then he had to flee directly behind. And then straight away, at that point, he's touching the edge of the board and goes off. So my Necrosphinx is charged down there, around there. I don't believe I'm allowed to reform here. I didn't, because obviously I didn't catch them or kill them or anything. But I'm wondering if in the rules I'm allowed to, if they fleed off the board, if I'm allowed to turn around. I wasn't. This Necrosphinx, he was 1 inch away. He needs to get one more on the dice to catch this gyrocopter. And it was so sad, because it now meant, once again, I've got another Necrosphinx not doing anything this turn. I went really clever to try and clear off this runesmith, but then he does clean my unquiet spirits, or I think I roll another double 1, so I can't do unquiet spirit. It's just really hurting there. So at the end of his turn, he's literally all he's got left is these 5 flyers and a runesmith. So he's jumped all about, he's done loads of bombs, he's shot loads of things down. I'm down to 2 swarms, I think 4 Ushabti, and he's trying to clip off my Necroserpent. And he's just getting into a position where I can't really charge him. I've got a few charges by a few things, and I go for them, and I'm just like, I just think it was pointless, because they just everything runs away. So if we look here, my Tomb Scorpion tried to go after this gyrocopter, it fled. My Necrosphinx can't see him. It's his turn next. He's just going to rally it and fly away. This Necrosphinx at the bottom just turns and charged. We got a bit confused by this. So this gyro bomber fled, got charged by the Ushabti, because I was like, smart, I'll clear off my 2 guys by doing spells so I can charge them up. And I charged my Necrosphinx in, because I know he's going to flee and try and fly. And then he flees behind this bloody building. And then when I try and pursue, I can't catch him. And then you can imagine with Leadership 9, he just rallies and just keeps flying around with these bombers. I've got a wizard out in the open, because I thought I'll be safe, this guy should be dead. This lovely sapper, this engineer, and this room, I just don't kill him. And I'm now like, he's got rid of my spectral steed, and I'm like, he's going to kill my Hierophant and win the game. I've already think at this point lost, oh no, my other level 4 is there. But I'm very much in a position where I'm like, I could lose my Hierophant and it could all go wrong here. So we kind of get into this bit of cluster by the building, because I have to give ground. I survive on like a wound, and then I res up by 2 wounds. And I'm like, he's alive. Look, you can see the dice on the hill, that's how many wounds I've got left. I'm now in a position where I'm like, okay, I need to just charge everything here and try and win the combat and beat his priest away. So I chuck in the Tomb Swarms to get all the poisons in, because he's only got 3 wounds. Like, it might go through. He's only a scout gyrocopter, so he's only got a 5-up save. My Necroserpents go in and try and clear off there. And then my poison does do it. He's left with the 2 gyro bombers at the end of his turn 6 that aren't doing anything, and his runesmith has run away. He's tried to be smart, and get a Gyro Bomber over and bomb my Hierophant, and unfortunately doesn't. So this is the end of the game. We were like, this is really close. You must have got quite a few points off me. But then we realised he hasn't killed anything. He's killed the 2 Skeleton Horse Archers and a Tomb Scorpion. That's it. I still have all 3 Necrosphinxes. I think I still got both my Wizards. I still got my Swarms. I've got a unit strength 10 unit in his deployment, so I get the 3 victory points. So it becomes a 16-4 on the point scoring, but it becomes a 19-1 to the Tomb Kings. And this was a really kind of fun game. It was really fun to play Rob. But we always have good games against each other, even though he hates me when I play the Cult. But he said this was a very different type of list than I've usually played, with loads of shooting, bow, shabby, and it's more of a pressure with some big monsters. So, yeah, it was good fun. Let's have a little debrief. So, coming off that, it was really good fun to play Rob. As I said, we're playing one of the Welsh Open missions of getting into their deployment with a unit strength 10 unit. As I got my Necrosphinx in there, because I think there would be a really good one, because you can drop them in, you can score that way. They're quite tough to get rid of, 15 wounds. As I said, I think Elementalism could be quite good, dropping Urban Ramparts in on them. And then obviously reserve move, I can move 14 inches after I come in, after I've done a load of mortal initiative tests. And just applying a load of pressure. Playing with 3 Necrosphinxes was great. Having 3 T6 flying monsters just roaming about the board, just clearing off things, was just fun. And they're so tanky. I am kind of changing the list. I think the core of it, with the triple Necrosphinx and the Necroserpents blob, is where I'm going to go if I look to take Tomb Kings to the Welsh Open. But it's just what I do with the characters and the rest of my core. I think I've tried a dragon in it, and it seemed quite fun, but I'm like T5, 8 wounds. Ooh, maybe he does die off there quite easily. Then also, I'm thinking, do I go for like a level 4, a level 3, and a level 1? So I get 3 attempts of rezzing and play close with my Necrosphinxes. So I can heal 6 wounds to Necrosphinxes, because I think that was quite key. I definitely need a BSB. That was something I missed in the game versus Rob, but when I played Ben, it really did help. And maybe a Scarab Brooch, just so I can drop something in so far away. But yeah, that was it. That was the game. I'd say the reason why I went for this type of list is I feel like there's going to be a lot of infantry blocks for the Welsh Open. I'd say I'm just practicing. This is kind of my next big tournament. I want to see what I can do with the Tomb Kings. So, thank you for watching, and I'll see you later. Ta-ra!